Yes, it's your boy Jacob. Now, today we are comparing the career of a theater assistant and an enrolled nurse. Which one is better? People like topics of comparison because they need to know which one is better, which one can I go. All careers are good, but it depends on what you want. So today I'm going to compare a career of a theater assistant and an enrolled nurse, because those are the certificate level. When you're comparing a diploma, you have to compare it to another diploma. When you're comparing a certificate, you have to compare it to another certificate. So we are looking at two certificates today: a theater assistant and an enrolled nurse. Which one is better? Which one can you go? These comparisons are very good for people who are just starting their careers and they are disturbed about which one can I choose. So we bring up these topics to show the advantages, the disadvantages, what you can gain after your career, the salary, so that the choice is yours. So for us, our job is to compare and show you the full picture of these courses. The choice for choosing is for you. So let's look at the career of a theater assistant and enrolled nurse. What do you need? For a theater assistant, you don't need sciences. You don't need, all you need is your O level. You passed. Whether you have sciences or you don't have, they will take you up. That's the beauty about this profession. But if you take up enrolled nurses, you need the 5 passes in the science subject. So we are talking about the minimum. The minimum. Theater assistant, whether you have sciences or you don't have them, it's okay, they can give you the course. But if you are to choose enrolled nursing, you need the passes, the passes, the 5 passes, and in the science subjects for you to get an admission for the course. Let's look at the expense, school fees. Right now, all enrolled nursing schools, their fees have hiked up above 2 million because the level of expense in the country has increased. So all schools, private schools, are above 2 million. Tuition, yeah, but for theater assistant, they are slightly a little bit lower than that. It depends on the requirements, because the nursing schools, you need a lot. They need to go to the community, a lot to do with mannequins and all that stuff. So their schools, their fees is quite high. But for theater assistants, it's slightly low compared to what enrolled nurses are charged at schools. Duration of study: enrolled nurse 2.5 years, theater assistant 2 years. Theater assistants don't have so many schools. I think they have like 3-4 schools in the country, but nurses have so many schools in the country. So you have to look at some of those parameters, because currently, if you are to go for theater assistant, Slubaga, Gulu, and somewhere, I think some schools are starting up in Ishaka, so you have to look where you can get an admission if you are to go in that direction. But nursing schools are all over the place. They are becoming like secondary schools. There are so many, and the options are quite very many. Let's look at the career. You've started working. Who earns more money? So theater assistants in private hospitals, they are given the same amount of money like the enrolled nurses. Most private hospitals, most of them have giving enrolled nurses and theater assistants something slightly more than 500,000. But when you are basing salary nowadays, we base on what the government gives. Enrolled nurses are given a U7 upper. So when you put in these U's, most people don't know them, but I think now a U7 is slightly above 600. Yeah, I think it's somewhere around 650 or 700. I've forgotten the figure, but somewhere around there. But a theater assistant is getting a U6, like 100,000 more than what an enrolled nurse is getting, which is good. So in public service, theater assistants are given slightly more than what enrolled nurses are getting. And the beauty is most enrolled nurses struggle to get public service jobs because the fact is there are so many abantu basomye nursing. The schools are so many, they are poured out thousands of most of these enrolled nurses, and most of them don't have jobs. But theater assistants, because it's more of specialized field and not many people have taken up this course, so it ups up the scale of job demand, in that most hospitals have jobs for them because they are looking at someone specialized and has more knowledge in surgical techniques. Most of them are given jobs in the OR, in the theaters, so their jobs are still available even on a government score, even on a government jobs. There are more jobs for theater assistant because there are not so many in the country, and like the nurses, so you have to take advantage of that before they go up. There are not so many in the country, so their jobs are a little bit more available than for nurses. So if you see that as an opportunity, you can take it up. So that's the only advantage the theater assistants are having over the enrolled nurses, is on more on the salary, and also the job opportunities are slightly more than those of the nurses. So let's look at career progression. Now that's the most important thing. How do you progress your career as a theater assistant and an enrolled nurse? So this is one thing you have to take very critical when choosing a course, is after that certificate, what do I do? Don't just choose a career where you're stopping there and there is no career progression. When you're choosing a career, look at what you can do after that course, because we are all in career progression. You cannot just study and stay there. You have to look at, when I do this course, what's the next step I'm going to take up in this course. Now, enrolled nurses is physical. From enrolled nursing, you go to diploma in nursing, you go to degree in nursing. The sky is the limit up to the PhD. Now, here's the problem with a theater assistant. When you do a theater assistant, you've almost done. There is no progression in that field. They are just trying to put up a diploma in Rubaga in the same field of theater techniques. Yeah, that's what I know, but initially there is no career progression in theater assistant. But what do most theater assistants do after getting that certificate? You go, you make your money, look for another career. The most popular career which most theater assistants do is to do a diploma in clinical medicine. Yes, your senior 6 is an equivalent. Your theater assistant certificate is an equivalent to senior 6, and most people use that to get into the clinical school. Once you get in the clinical school, you can be able to do all other courses in the medical field. So that's what most of them do. So there is no like stoppage. What you can do after that certificate, you stop on that certificate of theater assistant, you progress to another career. That's what most of them do. So this is a comparison I can give you between an enrolled nurse and a theater assistant. So the choice is yours. If you think enrolled nursing is for you, you can take it up. If you think theater assistant is for you, according to what I've said, you can take it up. Thank you very much for tuning and listening to my tutorials. I'm bringing more and more tutorials of comparisons of careers in medical courses. More especially, I talk about more medical courses because that's what I'm more experienced in. Most people say, oh, talk about electrical engineering. I have no experience in that field. So I take more of medical because I'm more experienced in the medical field, and I can give you advice according to my experience and according to what I've seen, what other people have gone through. I'm in the right position to give you the right advice and to take up the right course according to the knowledge which I've given you. Thank you very much.